Today's Steelers Talk video is sponsored by RexMD, the most trusted name in men's telehealth. If you need a little bit of help in the bedroom, go to our exclusive link at rexmd.com/chat for 90% off. Welcome into the show, Yinzers. We got some great Steelers news and rumors to cover for you today. But first, do me a favor, get down there and subscribe to the channel. Right now, we are super close, or we're super close to 25,000 subscribers here on the channel. We're less than 1,000 away from reaching that mark. That's going to be a big milestone here on the channel. We'll be doing something special for you once we get to 25K. So if you want daily Steelers news and rumors videos, absolutely free here on YouTube, that's your sort of thing, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me right now. So the first thing I want to talk about today is that the Steelers have made a sighting, another linebacker here, special teams specialist Tanner Muse. He was formerly with the Las Vegas Raiders last year, and this is somebody that I think is going to be a big contributor for the Steelers on special teams next season. I think he'll be a backup kind of hybrid linebacker, safety type. He's 6'2", 227 pounds. He ran in the 4.4s at the NFL Combine a couple years back, went to Clemson, and I think that he's somebody that's going to be a solid backup for you. I think right now Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts are your solid starters right now. Of course, you got Mark Robinson. I think Tanner Muse kind of goes in as that third guy as it stands right now. And then, of course, the Steelers could absolutely draft another inside linebacker in the early rounds of the 2023 NFL Draft. I think that Jack Campbell and Dorian Williams out of Tulane should be some big targets for the black and gold. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think of this signing. A, B, C, D, or F. Give me a grade in the comments section. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever YouTube throws an ad break your way here on this video, take advantage of that time by going down to the comment section, finding that pinned comment. It'll be right there at the top and answer today's question. All right, so now let's get into Bud Dupree today because he's been heavily rumored to the Steelers over the last couple of weeks. He came in for a visit, but today he has officially announced that he is going to sign with the Atlanta Falcons. The news was broken by Zach Klein here on Twitter, and this is what he had to say per NFL source. Outside linebacker Bud Dupree has agreed to terms on a one-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons, and then ESPN's Jeremy Fowler came out just minutes after that to say that the Steelers were heavily in the mix on a Bud Dupree deal, but Dupree preferred a one-year deal. Steelers prefer two-year deals on contracts of substance, so Dupree is off to Atlanta. And I think this is definitely interesting that the Steelers are looking for somebody for a two-year contract, especially if they're looking for that rotational third edge piece. I thought they probably would have been okay with a one-year contract because you bring in Bud Dupree as your third edge rusher, and then you can kind of sign like a developmental guy like a B.J. Thompson in the later rounds of the 2023 NFL Draft. That's probably what I would have done, but it seems like the Steelers are looking for somebody they can bring in for multiple years. So today, I'm going to be listing a couple of names that the Steelers can sign instead of Bud Dupree because he is on his way to Atlanta. But first, let's have a word from today's sponsor, RexMD. Fellas, do you lack confidence in the bedroom? We've all had those nights where we get too nervous or maybe we've had a little bit too much to drink. There's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift in drive when you need it the most. But have no fear, RexMD is here spreading cheer even when you have too many beers. RexMD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored today's Steelers Talk to help you always be prepared. RexMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your door. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, and no copays. Take advantage of their best deal they've offered and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to rexmd.com/chat for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/chat for up to 90% off. All right, so now let's get into some of these names that I think could be decent alternatives to add as that third rotational edge piece for the Steelers pass rush that are not named Bud Dupree. I think there are some pretty good names still out there in NFL free agency, and at this point, you can probably get them for pretty decent contracts. First name on this list, I'm probably going to go from most likely or least likely to more likely here. Kyle Van Noy is number 5 on my list, somebody that's been around the block. He's played with a number of different systems. He's really thrived in that New England, Bill Belichick 3-4 type defense as kind of a bigger outside linebacker type player. I really think that he's a good fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers because they do run that 3-4. He can be a good backup outside linebacker for them, and he's probably going to be relatively cheap because he is getting up there in age. Then you got Frank Clark, somebody that has been a great playoff performer for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, it's certainly possible that the Steelers would need to pony up a little bit more dough for Frank Clark because he's more used to getting paid like a number 1 edge rusher. I don't think that he's going to get paid what he wants this free agency cycle. That's why he hasn't been signed yet, but he might be a little bit more expensive, and he's more of a traditional 4-3 defensive end. Then you got Yannick Ngakoue, who might be the most productive out of any of these names here, although he is more of a traditional 4-3 defensive end and not a 3-4 outside linebacker. I think that you can bring him in if you are the Steelers, because if you bring him in, you're probably going to be putting him in your nickel packages most likely, and in nickel packages for the Steelers, you have 4 down linemen, so he would be a good fit for the Steelers in my opinion, but once again, probably a little bit more expensive. Then you got Leonard Floyd, somebody that has been a really productive player, someone that's a very versatile type outside linebacker, somebody that's actually pretty decent in coverage as well. He's played really, really well with the Los Angeles Rams in his career. Has been also pretty productive. I think that he would be a really good addition. If you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, you can probably get him at a discount right now because he hasn't been signed. And then my number 1 guy, the guy that I would really try to get right now, is Justin Houston, somebody that has played both 4-3 defensive end and 3-4 outside linebacker. He has that versatility, and I think that's what you're looking for if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want somebody that can come in, and if TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith, God forbid, got hurt, you want somebody that can step in and be a productive starter. But, when he's running that rotational third down passing situations type role where he's coming in relief and trying to get after quarterbacks in those obvious passing situations, he's somebody that year in and year out delivers those sack numbers. I really think that he'd be a good player for the black and gold. So just to recap here, you got all these guys here on this list. Let me know which guy you would sign in the comments section here. Type KVN for Kyle Van Noy, type FC for Frank Clark, YN for Yannick Ngakoue, LF for Leonard Floyd, or JH for Justin Houston. So now we're gonna finish up the show here with some Steelers draft predictions from ESPN's Matt Miller. Now, this is an article that came out the other day where he's essentially predicting what the Steelers are going to do with their first 2 picks in the NFL draft based on what he and ESPN Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor are hearing around the team. This is what Matt Miller had to say. Joey Porter Jr. is a fan favorite. Yes, his father was drafted by the Steelers too, but his length, aggressive style of play, and ability to attack the ball also make him a great value and scheme fit for the Steelers. He could definitely be available in the middle of round 1. And then he continues to say in round 2, and with the first pick of day 2, I like tackle Anton Harrison from Oklahoma to Pittsburgh. Now let's talk about these picks kind of one at a time here. So he has the Steelers taking Joey Porter Jr. With the 17th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, and I think that this would be a fine pick. I think that Joey Porter Jr. is a fan favorite, like Miller says, and I think that he's got the physical tools that Mike Tomlin looks for in a number 1 cornerback. He's got some of the best length in his arms that you will see in an NFL cornerback. He's got good size at 6'2", 193 pounds. He's a 4.46 runner at that size, which is really, really good, and he plays incredibly physical. That's what Mike Tomlin likes to see in his cornerbacks. The only thing is I think that his upside is a little bit limited because his hips aren't the most fluid, and his short area quickness can be a little bit of a concern at times, but I think it's overall good enough where he's going to be a really, really good starter in this league. Right now, I have him ranked as the number 4 draft target at the cornerback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that Deonte Banks, Christian Gonzalez, and Devin Witherspoon would be better options, in my opinion, if those guys are still on the board when the Steelers pick at number 17. And then if the top 4 guys are gone, I actually really like Tyreek Stevenson out of Miami as well, another physical press man type of corner, the type of guy that Mike Tomlin really, really likes at that position. Keep your eye on him at number 32 overall in this year's draft class if the Steelers don't take a corner at 17. Then you get to Anton Harrison, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma, and I disagree with this one when it comes to Matt Miller's take. I think Anton Harrison is probably going to be a first-round pick because I think he's one of the better pass protectors, one of the more NFL-ready pass protectors in the league. The reason for that, he's got great length, he's got great athleticism, he's got good balance in his pass sets, and he's really good with his hand placement. But some of the cons is power, run blocking, the stuff that the Steelers are looking for. That's where this guy's weaknesses are, which is why I just don't think he's going to be a major draft target for the Steelers this year. I think he needs to go to more of a zone blocking scheme, a team that likes to pass the ball a lot. The Steelers are trying to establish a power run game here in the city of Bridges. And I think that these four guys are probably the guys that are going to be on the Steelers' radar. You got Paris Johnson Jr., my number one offensive tackle in this year's NFL draft class. He is the person that I would target if I were Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin. Then you got Peter Skoronski, another good option, kind of shorter arms, but he is a technician at the position. Broderick Jones, he's built really, really well in his lower half. And he's somebody that can play any type of run game. I think he's the best run blocker in this year's NFL draft class. And then you got Darnell Wright, somebody that played right tackle at Tennessee. Could he transition to left tackle? Maybe. I think that kind of depends on who you ask when it comes to that question. But I think all four of those guys, they can fit what the Steelers want to do with that power run game that they're trying to implement in 2023. So what is your ideal offensive tackle cornerback draft duo for the Steelers to draft this season? Is it Paris Johnson Jr. and Deonte Banks? Is it something else? Let me know which offensive tackle and which cornerback you want the Steelers to draft this season. And now that's going to be it for this show. I appreciate everybody that made it to the end of the show. You are a true real one. And if you are a real one and you want more free Steelers videos here on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button and help us get to 25K here on Steelers Talk.